What's up? Curious youngsters, and we're always wasting time doing useless things or watching millions of videos. Finishing YouTube's weird recommendations? Why not spend a few minutes on Mr. Curiosity instead? Learning 30 totally epic facts that you'll forget in about 10 minutes, but these aren't just any facts. These will leave you completely amazed. For this and much more, these are 30 things you didn't know 5 minutes ago. 1. If we could make a line with all the blood vessels in our body lined up, that is, adding up all the veins, arteries, and every single capillary that carries blood to the most remote places in our body. The line would span over 100,000 km. Yeah, it's really crazy, which would go around the Earth more than twice, although 90% of it would be made up of microscopic capillaries. In September 2012, Choi Gap-bok, an Asian man, escaped from prison. He got through the food slot at the bottom of his cell door, since he had practiced yoga for at least 20 years. And after applying a cream to his skin, he escaped while the guards were asleep. Here you have a rival, Chucky Chan 3, on a street in downtown Johannesburg, South Africa. There was a very enterprising young man who gave away summaries, who wrote about the books he read, and if the drivers liked these summaries, he would sell them the complete book. 4. We all know Dwayne Johnson, better known as The Rock, who, besides being a wrestler and actor, a few years ago showed up by surprise at a wedding to officiate the marriage. The groom, a film journalist and a big fan of our actor, had already interviewed him several times. Well done, Dwayne Cinco. In shocking curiosities from the animal kingdom, we find that crocodile beasts sometimes swallow stones. By the way, this is so they can rest more easily at the bottom of the water and not float on the surface. Or some scientists say that it's to help break down tough food like bones or shells inside their stomach. Sex. Is the world a dangerous place, Timmy? And this is what the entrance to the Poison Garden in Angwick, England looks like. A garden that has more than 100 different species of poisonous plants. And this was created by Duchess Jane Percy because apparently she was quite bored. 7. We can all make mistakes in our lives, but I think the actor Sean Connery beats us all, since he let $445 million slip away by refusing to play Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings, as he had been promised $10 million and, in addition, 15% of the total box office of the movies, which was nearly $3 billion. After reading the scripts and all the books, the actor decided to turn down the offer because he didn't really understand the story. 8. We know that snails are boring and slow, but did you know that these slow mollusks take life so calmly that they can sleep for up to 3 years in a row while hibernating? Additionally, one of their naps can last up to a week. In the United States, a couple of years ago, an alert was issued about the zombie deer disease. Yes, I'm not joking. Apparently, it's a disease that deer get, which makes them look sad. Walking in circles tired, it just makes them look like a zombie. And the worst part is that if these animals get depressed, they don't eat and die, and if they're eaten by another animal, this disease can be transmitted. So then, would we have to face a zombie deer apocalypse? 10. Throughout history, humanity has fought for any reason. And one of the craziest was the one that triggered a war between Spain and Canada over fishing rights on the halibut banks. Yes, apparently a fish was highly prized by both countries. It made different vessels attack each other, even with real weapons. 11. First and last names are very important to people, but did you know that women's last names in Russia always end with the letter A? Since apparently they use the last names of their fathers or husbands, but with an A at the end? For instance, if the husband is Vladimir Putin, the wife's surname will be Putina. Russians are wild. In 1994, pranks that went too far involved 12 people. A man dressed in a black robe and carrying a sickle was arrested for standing and staring at the window of a nursing home for a whole day. The elderly became uneasy as he resembled the angel of death. 13. If you don't know what you could do for a living, why don't you just start painting stones? Yes, I'm being serious. The Japanese artist Aki Nakata brings simple stones to life by painting ultra-realistic animals on them. Where can I buy one? I need them. 14. In inspiring stories, we have Lorena Ramirez, who is an indigenous Mexican runner that won a marathon in sandals and without hydrating during the entire race. She also had to walk 2 days to get to the race because she didn't have any sponsors. This is the BMW X6 truck in Vanta Black, a 2020 model. This kind of Batmobile is painted with the blackest black color in the world. Vanta Black paint absorbs 99.6% of all visible light. To be created, it requires a very high temperature of 400 digs, 1,616 digs. This year, the Central Bank of Kenya issued a new generation of coins, in which it replaced the images of its former presidents with African animals. Since politicians have always been flawed, while animals are simply perfect. Well done, Kenyans. 17. I'm sure there's a Chinatown somewhere in your country. Did you know that in Bangkok, Thailand, there's the largest Chinatown in the world? It's called Chowharet, and it's a small city within Bangkok. 18. If you like survival shows like I do, you might already know that you should never drink salt water, not even if you're about to die of thirst. And why is that, sir? Curiosity? If it's just water? No, actually you can't drink salt water because it causes dehydration and your body ends up losing more water than it takes in. India holds the Guinness World Record for having the world's stupidest people, according to the record book, for the largest human flag in the world. Over 50,000 people formed in Chennai, December 2014. If you're bored, it's your choice. In Asian countries, we discover the wildest things. For example, in Tokyo, Japan, a soccer field was built on the roof of the Tokyo Toshoko shopping mall, which was created as part of an advertising campaign for the Korea-Japan World Cup. In 2002 by Oddities 21, in Amazing People from Planet Earth, we find Stephen Wiltshire, who is an autistic artist capable of drawing the most astonishing landscapes thanks to his incredible photographic memory. He made this drawing of New York after flying over the city in a helicopter for 20 minutes, 22. In unique species that only the island of Madagascar can give us, we find the aye-aye, a primate very closely related to lemurs, which is known for being a little bit ugly. And the most curious thing is that the origin of the word lemur is found in the Latin language, where it means nocturnal spirit. Now we understand the name. Nature can be harsh. 23. In the Guinness World Records, we find Michael Phelps, who is the athlete that won the most Olympic medals of all time. With 28 medals, since he won 23 gold medals, 3 silver medals, and 2 bronze medals. And it's no wonder he's nicknamed the Baltimore Shark. 24. In epically rare places that I would like to visit. We came across a road in France called the Passage du Gois. It can only be used twice a day for a few hours. The rest of the time, it's submerged underwater. 25. Stay with me. But this is what our head looks like, made up only of the circulatory system with all the arteries, veins, and blood vessels. But luckily, we have nice skin that covers it. Otherwise, we would look like Bob Patino 26. In some Arab countries, people live a life of luxury. In Dubai, you can find the world's first automated teller machine that dispenses solid gold. The automated teller machine offers around 230 options, giving out everything from coins to the 10-gram gold ingot. 27. As we know, the world has 4 seasons, and summer and winter, depending on where you are. It can be a real hell since extreme heat or extreme cold can literally kill us. And the record for the hottest place in the world is held by Death Valley in California, where 56.7 degrees Celsius were recorded. On July 10th, 1913, 28, if you're afraid of spiders, you should know that you're more likely to die from being hit by a cork from a freshly opened bottle than from the bite of a venomous spider. So be more afraid of bottles than of poor spiders. 29. If you like nature and adventure, I'm sure you would love to visit this cave in Bulgaria. This strange formation is known for the 2 holes in the ceiling, which resemble a pair of eyes known as the eyes of God. Whether religious or not, this natural formation is undeniably amazing. When picturing a beach, people often envision white sand and crystal clear water. But on the other hand, we find that places like Iceland offer us this kind of beaches with pure black sand. This beach, Reynisfjara, was voted one of the world's most beautiful beaches for many years. Before I go, let me send some greetings to a few subscribers. First, a huge greeting to Joaquin H. Ball EM, who contributed significantly to the channel and I hadn't greeted in previous videos. Next, another big greeting to Face Augustin 999, who was also waiting. His greeting was a while ago. Also, another little greeting to Victor King, whom I greeted earlier. Another greeting to Balutov, who wanted a greeting a few videos ago. And then I'm going to greet Blackfire, whom I also owed a greeting. Another big greeting to Alvin Morales, who has been following the channel for quite some time. Another greeting to Nicasio Ariel, who I believe is a man on the channel. And finally, let me go ahead and greet Kevin Andre Polito. Another greeting to Claribel Gildebrand, the Cuban fan of the channel. And the last greeting goes to your Android, who has been waiting for their greeting for quite a while. Now, I hope you liked it. Comment anything, really anything you want. Don't forget to share the channel and the video with your friends. That way there will be more and more of you. Sinu Curiosity here. Subscribe and click the bell to catch all new videos. I'm Sinu Curiosity.